Hey, single queen. Hey, single queen. I am Desmond Booker. I am a Christian dating and relationship coach, helping successful queens who are seeing success in their lives and now ready to see success in their love lives. I'm excited today about today's topic. Now, you may be watching me on YouTube. If you're watching me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to this channel and also like this video as well as comment. You also may be watching me on Instagram or in our Facebook group as well. I just want to welcome you guys. We normally have a Monday Night Live. I didn't announce anything because I just wanted to do this. I really felt led to do this topic tonight. This may resonate with some and may not resonate with others, and it's okay. And it's going to be one of those hot topics. Um, because we're here at the end of the year 2024 and we're getting ready to go into 2025. So many queens that I help, so many queens that I talk to are praying for the right person to come into their lives. They're praying for the right relationship. Um, they're believing God to bring him into their lives. And 2023, 2022, 2021, you've been saying this is my year, but is it really your year? 2025, is that really going to be your year? And so we've been talking about that this month. Are you really ready to see him come into your life? Are you really ready for the relationship that you say that you want and that you're desiring and that you're praying for? And so that's what we're going to really want to talk about tonight, because God, you're praying, but at the same time, are you allowing God? That's one thing. Are you allowing God to lead you, right? Number two, how willing are you to do whatever God is wanting? So are you allowing God, and then are you willing to follow his direction and follow instructions? This is going to be really good tonight because I really feel inspired to help you, especially because why? You're talking to a God who answers prayers, who not only answers prayers, but will also help you, guide you, and lead you to the person that's meant for you. Okay? So this is going to be very, very, very good. Now, again, this may resonate for some and it may not resonate for others, but this is going to, I know that because I'm inspired to do this type of talking and, for us to have this kind of conversation, it's going to be powerful. You may want to take some notes. You may want to watch this a few times. 2025, let's just go ahead and claim it. It's going to be the year that you're going to meet the man of your dreams. It's going to be the year that you're going to be in a relationship. And if you'd even desire, it could be the year that you get married. Let's just go ahead and do that, because we know that all things are possible to them that believe. Okay? So many times when I'm talking to queens, I'm hearing queens say, I'm praying and I'm desiring, but nothing is happening. Is that really, honestly, can that actually happen? Well, yeah, I guess it can if you didn't pray by faith, if you didn't pray believing, right? If you didn't pray believing that it would happen, then yeah, nothing would happen. But no, if it's real prayer, something is happening. Now, we may not even know, or you may not even see, and we talked about this and we alluded to this, I think last week. When you begin to pray and when you begin to talk to God, then you have to begin to listen, because prayer is what? Not only you speaking to God, but he's also talking to you. So something is happening if you're praying by faith. Okay, so let's just get that out of the way. If you're praying by faith, when you believe, you shall receive. So there's something happening. So many of you that are saying, I'm praying and nothing is happening, I want you to really begin to investigate that. Okay, I want you to, for you that are praying and saying that you're waiting, what are you waiting for? Is my question. Waiting for what? Waiting for him to show up? Waiting for what? What are you waiting for? Because praying and waiting, you got to be very specific about what you're waiting for. Because when you begin to look at the movement of God, which moves by his spirit, he moves by his spirit. Did you hear what I said? Moves by his spirit. He's moving. So if you're praying and he's working and he's moving, then what are you doing? You see, there has to be some type of instruction. So that's why I believe that when I begin to help queens who say they're just praying and waiting, and then we begin to investigate that and we begin to talk about that, guess what? She begins to realize, oh, that's why I'm still single, because I'm praying and just waiting. He's doing his part, but I'm not doing my part. So if you're praying and waiting, what part are you playing? Okay. So are you allowing yourself to hear from God? Are you allowing yourself to and open? Okay. So the main key thing is a willingness. Okay. If you're inviting God to help you be married, to help you be in a relationship, if you're wanting him, how willing are you? Right? How open are you to follow his direction? And this is going to be very, very, I'm going to cover some things tonight. This is going to be very good. Okay? How willing are you? Okay? So perhaps you're wanting God's help, but you're not willing to do it his way. Ooh, I know it. You're wanting God's help, but you're not willing to do it his way, which means if you're praying for God and he says you need to heal, or you're needing to connect with this person, or you're needing to forgive this person, are you willing to forgive them? Are you willing to wait? Even openly, be honest with you, he may even say, try online dating. Oh, I can't meet him online dating. I'm not going to meet him. I want to meet him naturally. You see, you have a specific type of person. Are you willing to date God's type or your type? You see, so this is where that willingness comes. So again, once you begin to say, I'm waiting on God, I prayed and I'm waiting on God. Really? Are you really waiting on God? No. He's really waiting on you. He wants to see how willing you are so that he can begin to guide you and direct you on what steps you need to take in order to meet the person that you're praying for. You got to get this tonight, okay? How willing are you? With me being a dating and relationship coach, is it just accident that you just stumbled upon this channel, that you just found me on Instagram, or we connected on Facebook? Is it just, no, it's not. It just didn't happen. It's on purpose. Again, that's God guiding you, okay? So many queens feel led to join my program, but I don't have money, right? Or I don't have time. Again, how willing are you to follow the steps in order to get to your husband? You see this? You see this? You have to be willing. And so you're still single is because you pray, you're waiting, but you're not willing. You have to be willing. Now again, if you're wanting to do it your way, then you're going to get your results. And my question is, how is that working out? How are those results working out? Are you meeting the type of people that you want to meet? Are you divorced, then married, then separated, then nobody? Or, I mean, honestly, not being facetious or anything, but really, honestly, is it working out? Your way and my way does not work out. That's why we're praying, right? That's why we're praying for God to send the person, for him to help us, okay? God knows if you need to go through a process of healing. He may lead you to a therapist, through a counselor. Many of my clients, I help them on the dating part, but they're going to a therapist or a counselor. Do you see this? So it's more than just, I'm going to pray and wait. I need to pray, wait, and be willing to do whatever it is that I need to do in order to get to my husband. I'm telling you, 2025 is going to be totally different if you begin to just digest and begin to even apply what I'm suggesting, right? So I'm praying, I'm waiting, but are you willing? Okay, now let's talk about the second thing. Are you allowing God to direct you. So willing and allowing. I'm willing to do whatever you tell me to do. That's one thing. I'm willing to do whatever. But then if he begins to, are you allowing him to guide you? Are you allowing him to talk to you? I know this very famous. I know this very famous person, and this brings me to something that I want to talk about, because a lot of times we'll hear this. God said that this is my husband, or God said this is my wife. Okay. Or so and so said that they're my wife. So and so said that they're my husband. Okay. So we have to really be careful with that. We have to really know God. But in the process of that, not saying it cannot happen, not saying that it cannot happen, not saying that it will not happen, because everybody's relationship with God is different and God knows everything. But what I was sharing was this particular woman said that God said so and so is her husband, and she's waiting for that to happen. And my question to her as she's waiting is, what is he telling you now? Because you've been waiting some years now. Or I mean, how long are you going to, how long are you, not saying again that it's not your husband, but how long are you willing to wait for him? And if you are in the process of waiting, what is God, what instructions are you getting besides just waiting? It's been a while since you've heard from God. You might need to go fast and you need to pray. Oh, fast and pray to get some instruction from, again, how willing are you? How much are you allowing God? If God is saying fast and pray for him, fast and pray to get yourself healed, to hear from him, then you ought to be willing to fast and pray if you're desiring to be with the person that God is leading you to. How willing and are you allowing God? So in the process of that, again, I told you this is going to be good tonight. In the process of that, are you allowing God to guide you, to direct you, to tell you what to do? If you're willing, then you also have to be what? You have to be allowing him to guide you and to direct you. Okay? Now, God may bring somebody into your life and it may be the person. I'm going to be honest with you. It may be the person, but it's not your person. What do we do with this? It's God's person for you, but it's not your person. Well, how willing and how much are you allowing God to direct you? Because there may be something, and I'm going to be honest with you, there's going to be something about that person that you're not going to like. I'm going to be honest with you. When God brings somebody into your life, you think it's just going to be you physically, you're emotionally, you're mentally, you're so spiritually. You're not going to find all that out. Not all at one time. It's going to be something. I know that I know somebody right now married to her husband, but when she's like, his laugh just does something to me. His laugh. They've been married over 10, maybe 15, right around 10, 15 years. She did not allow the laugh. Again, we have all these proclivities. We have all these things. He has to be this. He has to do that. He has to, say this. He has to, really? Again, you're willing, but are you going to allow God? So he comes into your life. So let's answer the question. How do I know if he is from God? Well, one of the ways that you're going to know from God is that your spirit is going to have a peace. Now, again, your flesh is going to fight this. I'm going to be honest with you. Especially maybe if there's something that is not, now think about it. If he's not eye candy to you, right? If he's not eye candy to you, or, I hate to say this, he may be shorter than you. And you're like, I'm never going to date a short. And he's a little bit shorter than you. But your spirit has a peace about it. Your flesh is saying he's short. His laugh. He's not eye candy. He looks like my ex. All these things that you got, right? But are you willing to allow God so that you can even begin to get to know him? And the more you're open to get to know him, and the more you're allowing God to guide you and share with you, you find out this is the person that you have been praying for. This is the person that you've been desiring. But are you willing and to allow him to allow yourself to get to know him? You see this? So number one, you'll know him because you have a peace. Number two is that he he most likely is going to treat you like nobody has ever treated you before. Because why? Because you prayed to be treated a certain way. And I'm gonna tell you, when God really sends the right one to you, you're gonna be ready to run. He's not gonna please your flesh because God's not sending somebody to please your flesh. Number two, he's gonna send somebody that's gonna give you a peace. And number three, it's gonna scare the daylights out of you. It's gonna be like, oh my God, no, God didn't. This is exactly what I wanted. Now he don't have everything that I wanted, right? But spiritually, it lines up, right? That's the main concern. Spiritually lines up. Why? Because as you know, we are going to be one. How can you be one? And the most important thing, again, now we're not talking about a fleshly, soulish connection. We're talking about a spiritual connection. So if it's a spiritual connection and you're praying to God, you know that this is not just going to be that you know that this is not going to just be a oneness that's going to happen between you, but this is going to have to be something that's a spiritual. So you're going to have to go back to the Word of God. You're going to have to go back to God's Word in order to see what a spiritual husband is. He's going to be a protector. He's going to be a provider, right? He's going to be all of these things. He's going to be able to lead you. He's going to be able to pray with you. Are you willing and allowing God to do that? Do you see these characteristics in him? But you don't know what no. But do you see these characteristics? Oh, you do. And you got a peace about it. But we fight because why? Because our flesh is saying no. But you're going to have to tell your flesh to sit down. Okay? And so when you come, again, how do I know he's the right person? Number one, you're going to have a peace in your spirit about it. Number two, a great indication is your flesh is going to be like, no, God, you got to be, you done lost your mind, right? And then number three, what it's going to begin to do is that it's going to cause you to feel uncomfortable. He's going to bring out things that no other man has brought up. And that's what we're saying. He's going to bring up other things. You're going to be able to even see your weaknesses, and all these things is going to be coming up in the process of this, right? So all of these things are going to be coming up, and guess what? You're going to feel vulnerable. Oh my God, I can't believe this. Oh my God, he's treating me like this. I've never had that before. Those are going to be signs that this is a person that's sent by God. Because why? He's connected to God. And so if he's praying for you, he, of course, is going to know how to treat you. He, of course, is going to know what the boundaries and the standards that he's going to know all these things. Because why? Because as you convey them and God is speaking to you, God's going to tell you exactly God's going to tell him exactly how to care for you. Right? Because again, this man, if it leads to marriage, this man is going to be responsible if he mistreats you. God says that he won't hear his prayers if he mistreats you. See, this is what I'm talking about. If you really want to do this right, if you're really relying on God, if you're really saying, God, I want your best for me, you're going to have to be willing, and you're going to have to allow God to guide you. And you're going to have to be willing and allowing God to do what he wants to do in this relationship. I told you, this may not be for everybody, but this is for the woman. This is for the queen who's praying for God to send her a man. Send her a man, right? A dating coach. Do you know how many times, I've heard that? A dating coach? Why would God even? Because God knows you. God knows you. And because God knows you, that's why he brought a dating coach into your life. That's why he brought you to a therapist, because he knows you and he knows this is just a step. And don't think of it as a bad thing. Because I've had queens, oh no, I don't need your help. I can just do this. Yeah, but perhaps if you want to think about it, if God did, if it's going to be somebody that's going to help you to get closer, if this person is going to help you get closer to your husband, why not take that step? Again, you're not willing and you're not allowing. So it all boils down to this. Do you really want to be married? You're going to see me, you're going to hear me say this continually. Because if you're not really ready to be married, if you're not really ready for a relationship, all this stuff that I'm talking about is going to be null and void. It's going to be null and void. But for you that are really ready for a relationship and you're ready for God to bring you the person that's going to change your life, because you're going to change his life. Because why? Because when the two become one, lives are changed. Not only your lives, but you're going to be working together and you're going to change other individual lives. Even if, and let's just say, even if you don't even do a foundation or an organization, just by people looking at your marriage, it's going to be as them looking at Christ love the church, the way the husband loves the wife and the wife loves the husband. That's how even your marriage should be a reflection of changing lives, because people are going to see the love of God and they're going to say, oh my God, God brought them together. Oh my God. You see this? And so I wanted to share that with you. Now, little side note, don't be unequally yoked, right? And that can mean many things, right? Those that are saved and those that are unsaved. You don't date anybody that's unsaved, right? Anybody. How? Because again, you're praying to a God to bring you to somebody who doesn't know him. No, first of all, he has to get to know him, right? Don't play that game that I'm going to lead him to Christ and walk. No, don't play that game. Don't play that game. Help him get to know Jesus and you back totally off. Because why? Because again, what's going to end up happening is you're going to be the one that's praying for him. You're going to be the one that's leading and teaching him the script. That's backwards. Yes, ma'am. That's backwards. Because why? Why is that backwards? Not saying that you cannot teach a godly man. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you're leading him to Christ. That's not God. You're leading him to Christ as a woman of God is one thing, but you leading. Did you hear that? That you're leading him? The Bible says that he should be watering you. So if you're feeding, who's watering you, ma'am? My pastor. Is that what it, the way that is that order? That's not order. Yes, we should be you should be getting instruction from your pastor. And that's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying according to the word of God, he should be watering you. And if he's not watering you dating, then can he water you when he's married? Is he learning God's voice? Does he know God? Do you see that? That's what I'm saying. We have to really begin to investigate this. And not only an ungodly or godly is unequally yoked, but that person may be going to church, once a month, and you go every Sunday, every Wednesday. Well, if they don't go all the time, that's unequally yoked. You're not yoked to go. You're not yoked. Now, he may even be willing to do it. But if he's not, then there's an issue. Why are you always going to church? I'm telling you, if you have, because if you have a calling on your life, he's not going to want to fulfill it. He's not going to want, he's not going to, if he is not of God, if he doesn't have a relationship with God. Do you see this? I can go on about this, but I'm saying let's make 2025 the year that you meet the person that God has for you. If that's what your desire. If that's your desire. Let's make that happen. All right? I'm here to help you. Hopefully this has shed some light. I'm open. This is a conversation that we're having. So any questions you have, you can drop them below. Anything that you want to talk to me about, you're ready to do, you're ready to meet him and you've thought you were going in the right direction. I'm open to that discussion with you. We can talk about it. You can DM me on Instagram, or you can also you can message me on and drop a comment on Facebook in our Facebook group Queens Don't Settle. If you're here on YouTube, you can drop a comment or you can send me a message. Also here on YouTube, and let's talk about this. Because why? Because We want to see you get your prayers answered. We want to see you, because guess what? He's praying for you. He absolutely wants to meet you. And here you are, not willing and allowing God to direct you to him. And so he's been waiting. Let's just say he's been waiting since 2000. He's like, oh, I know my wife. I know God's talking to my wife right now. Wherever she is, just keep her single. Just keep her single until she finds me. Right? I conclude. I conclude tonight. This is good. Remember, queens don't settle. Let's talk about this. This is very good tonight. We're going to end 2024 strong. Strong. That's why I'm coming with this message, because it's time for you to go from single to successfully dating, to a healthy relationship, to a loving, committed marriage. All right? Remember, queens don't settle. Have a great night. And also, Merry Christmas.